We're not there yet. It is good. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is 11:33 Australian Eastern Standard Time. We are late. We do apologise. It's my fault. I just took a call it went longer than I thought, and I left myself short. I don't want to go into too many details because they're kind of gory, but let's just say it had something to do with an outhouse. Neil, how you doing, bro? What? I can't hear you. You're muted. Where's your volume gone? I'll just continue to talk by myself. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Brad. How you guys doing? You were talking a minute ago. What happened? No, I still can't hear you. How about now? No. Can anybody else? No one can hear Neil, can they? This is interesting. No, there's something at your end, Neil, because I can't even see the green thing moving at my end. Nope. It's not muted here, mate. It says the guest has muted themselves, so it's not me. Excuse us, guys. We just, obviously got some technical issues. While Neil's trying to find that out, I'll just say hello to everybody. Of course, he's going to ring back, so let me do this so that you haven't got that blank screen there. Welcome to Under the Rug. Of course, it's the show where we may well say something that offends you. If you do, you'll either get over it or you leave, and that's fine. There's no problem with that. There's no shame in that, of course. Today, we're going to be talking about the imminent collapse of the banks and potentially a good solution that we've got for that. How about now?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. See, he's unmuted. See, he muted himself. That wasn't me, ladies and gentlemen. It was all him.
I didn't touch anything.
I didn't. It wasn't me. It was Stolly.
Oh, well.
It
Anyway,
wasn't me.
Here now.
Well, as you can see, we're in good spirits, guys. I'm just bringing up this here so that I can see what's going on, as I always do each and every week. I know I probably shouldn't, but anyway, here I am talking.
Well, I mean, that's what happens, Andrew, and your ability. I mean, I couldn't do what you do, and they say, and we've kind of had that conversation before. We nobody can multitask, not even women. But like nope, you're the exception to be able to do that with the setup that you've got there. But hey. Welcome everybody. Sorry for the slight delay. We were all really busy, really excited, and it's kind of interesting. At the end of the day, we still don't know anything.
No,
still don't know anything.
We're still in the dark. We're still in the dark.
Still in the dark. But hey, everything's moving forwards. Lots more negativity coming to the light, which is really good. I guess that to me suggests that we're another step closer to the good things that we're all expecting. But something that I've learned, over the last couple of weeks, is when you get what you focus on.
100%. How many times have I told you that?
Oh, I know.
Actually, I was quite proud this morning. Everybody, for those you don't know, Neil and I speak quite a lot. And Neil and I had a conversation last week where I told him, mate, if you chase 2 rabbits, you catch none. And I heard him giving that same advice to someone this morning. I was like, holy shit, it landed. No. Sometimes I need that same advice, by the way.
Oh, very good,
Brad. I like that. Hey, Andrew, how you doing, man? Good to see you here, Rodger, as well. Great. Hey, Michelle, I never heard back from you, so flick me a message or reply to whatever. Yeah. When you can, whatever. That's all good. We're having fun. So, mate, what's happening? You just said that there's nothing happening, but I think there's fucking shitloads happening. Tell us about your experience yesterday when trying to get trying to purchase crypto and then move it off an exchange. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's like and when I talk about there's sort of shit sort of happening all over the place, and sort of following that up with, to me, that's a massive sign we're closer to something massive happening globally, which most people aren't prepared for, although we are. But yeah, trying to just move $100 from a debit card onto a exchange, card was blocked. Go and use a credit card. So credit card was blocked. Two cards blocked just for $100 purchase. And that's New Zealand dollars. Like, that's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, Pacific peso.
Get on the phone, go through. You have to go through the banking system to get it unblocked because we need to use it for all our regular purchases. And then they put you through to the fraud department. And it's all about crypto. A lot of crypto scam out there. A lot of people out there posing as crypto gurus and being able to help and all that sort of stuff. It's like, well, yeah, I've sort of been 5 years in the space, comfortable. I know what I'm doing and where I'm sending my funds. So I'm pretty sure I'm not being scammed and I'm okay with that, But like, it's almost like the person didn't hear and just carried on, had to finish his whole spiel.
It's because they're reading from a script, Neil. They're not real people. So isn't that interesting though? Let's think about this in context, guys. You got, run through the ringer for $100 for something that could be a scam because there's so many scams going on. Yet they're not looking internally and they're not protecting you from the biggest scam in the world, which is the banks. No one, fractional reserve lending has got to be the biggest scam on earth. The biggest scam on earth. It is literally a Ponzi that the governments run. What? Well, actually, no, the governments don't run it. They've been party to it, but they don't run it because it's private. There's some private bankers. I've got another name for them that also, it rhymes with bankers, but it's not. It starts with W. They are getting that. So, but you've got to be protected from spending $100, which you'd probably spend at a pub on a Friday night anyway if you were that way inclined, let's be honest.
But the story gets even better. It's like, so get it cleared. The fraudulent department gets it cleared, and we let them know. It's like, we're going to be moving some more. And we know what we're doing. So okay, you'll be fine. So go through to the local New Zealand crypto exchange, and put the 100 through that we wanted to do, and went through seamlessly. So we just did that as a test. And then so we put the 500 through. We're only talking New Zealand dollars. We're not talking, like 500 American dollars or anything like that. And we sit
which shouldn't make any freaking difference, to be honest. Let's be fair. It's $500. Far out.
But it's like, it's sort of, you can see in the back, so, God, that's taken a lot longer than the first one. And like 2 hours later, we get an email saying, we're a little concerned about what you're doing. So it's like, the same whole fucking process, we were put through the same whole rigmarole through the exchange, right? Now, and it's like, it was email. It was not a phone call, it was an email, backwards and forwards. And at the end of the day, why are we even having this conversation? We've just gone and justified this through the fraudulent department in the banking system, and they've allowed this process to go through. Why the fuck are you blocking it? So it was, you don't, when you're in an email conversation, you don't want to swear at them because you don't want to cut your nose off to spite your face. So it's
That's right.
Only getting that through, but it's like the exchanges are just as much under the hammer as the banks are. We know the banks are insolvent, and we know that the crypto exchanges it's like this is these guys' business. Their core business is buying and selling cryptocurrencies. They're the exchange for that. They're making bucks through that. For $500, it's like, holy shit, they must have 100 staff on there to question every fucking sale that's going through right now. That's crazy. Crazy. Yep. And then last night, and as you move through with that, is what's happening over in Australia in the banking system over there, and the physical.
This is what Neil's alluding to. So if you can't read this, I'll read it for you. 45 minutes and 20 questions later, I was allowed to withdraw cash from my Westpac account. The teller had to ring for authority as my account was red flagged. I had to show proof of what I was buying and answer more questions about why I want cash. To answer, none of your business, it's my money, means they will say no. To answer the question with an answer, to not answer questions with answers that they approve means no. I had to explain transactions in and out of my account, even though the teller very well. She had no authority. Finally, we got a yes. So then I asked more cash to be available tomorrow and was refused. So I'll be going back tomorrow, as I think the collapse of the banks is closer than you think. And I think she's right. So, let's think about that for a second. Oops, sorry. should be on both of us. Let's think about that for a second. You deposit your money. So what have we been taught right throughout our life? We've been taught that our bank's a safe place to put our money. Now, why is that? Well, because the government's got an interest in it, obviously. But moreover, because they want us to keep our money there. But it's and we've been taught that it's our money. That's just a safe place to keep it, and it's convenient because we'll give you cards or checks or whatever, however the time was. But let's think about it. That's not actually the case. As soon as you deposit your funds there, you become an unsecured creditor. What does that mean? It means if they default, you're up shit creek. That's it. You're an unsecured creditor. You've given them a loan. You've loaned them your money. That's what that means. But none of us were ever taught that. I'll be taking my money out of the bank, man. In fact, I don't have money in the bank for that very fucking reason, because I don't trust them. I spend more time, and said this to you, I spend more time going to the gold and silver vault than I do at a bank. Because if I need money, I go and sell some of my silver, because that's what it's for, right? No money in the bank, fuck that.
Do you think, though, Andrew, and we've talked about this on stage, and I remember we were in Perth when you first talked about it, and Andrew Daniels, is Wirex considered a bank? Well, what you'll see, it's probably they'll be heavily breathed over.
Breathed.
Breathed.
Breathed. You're breathing. Oh, whoops. I told you, my sister. Look at this. I left a message that said I'm on a fucking show. Shut up.
So, we talked about, and you brought it to light, and nobody knew what was going on. But the law that was created and brought into effect was the bank's ability to bail in.
That's right. I brought that up in 2018.
Yeah. And it's like, do you think that
they knew? Absolutely, they did. No, sorry.
But do you think that we're heading towards a situation like that where they kind of lock up our funds, our funds through the bank, or will they just shut the doors? I mean, we've seen the banks just shutting their doors over in the States, and and not just a couple. There's
hundreds.
There's hundreds, and it's just not reported by the mainstream media. But
I think we're going to see a bit of both. I do think we're going to see. I think the bigger ones that are more solvent. None of them are solvent, but let's say the bigger ones that appear to be more solvent will try to bail in, and they will lock up funds. I think there is a threshold, and I think it's anything above $100,000. Don't quote me on that, but anything over $100,000. So it'll be the people that have got a lot of money that are targeted, but still, that's not good for them either. But I think some of them will just close their doors and it'll be done. It'll be like let's use one of the exchanges, for example. It'll be like Cryptopia. It went bankrupt. Yeah. Well, the banks went bankrupt, and I had about probably $1,000 worth of tokens on there that I'll never ever see again.
Yeah.
And it'll be the same in the bank. But it's not all bad news, though, Neil. It's not all bad news, because from what I'm led to believe is that this is all completely mirrored. All of your accounts, transactional savings, whatever, is completely mirrored on the QFS. So as much as you might lose it in your bank account here right now, it's already there in the QFS side of it. So when that gets activated, when that becomes available to everybody, then you'll have access to your funds again. But there might be an interim period where you don't have anything. That's why it's a really good idea to have cash on hand. That'll get out and swing your beads on a corner on a Friday or something. I don't know.
For those that are a little bit on the fence with the QFS, with the quantum system, and whether it's real, I think the US government website, and if you put in QFS or quantum banking system, they've got a page all set up for it.
I think it's quantum.gov, I think, is the address. Just to answer Andrew's question up here, Andrew, I wouldn't leave it on. I wouldn't leave it in ING, but I wouldn't leave it in Wirex either. So I'm not leaving anything on any exchange. Literally no exchanges, not even Binance. Yeah. I'm not leaving anything. And guys, this isn't financial advice. This is just what I'm doing. I'm not leaving anything on any exchanges, because I don't believe any of them are going to survive. They may survive, but not before they crash, if that makes sense. Everything's going to go to zero. I'd be either putting it into gold and silver, or one of those 5 ISO tokens we spoke about, and putting it on a cold storage wallet, either Exodus or actually a cold like Nano Ledger or a Trezor. Yep, absolutely. Cash or cold store wallets. Yep, 100%.
And if you think about why, and it's the same, it's exactly what the banks is. We've got it in the banks, and we've got no control of it. The banks control us as to how much we can withdraw. We're seeing that right now. So the
absolutely.
are no different.
Exactly. They're
control it.
Getting money out of them in CoinSpot is just it's ridiculous. So yeah, Andrew, cash or cold storage or gold or silver? Yes, 100%. If you got big amounts of cash, I'd be putting it in gold and silver. Like if you don't need it, just keep what you need for living. Again, not financial advice. Keep what you need for living. Put the rest into gold and silver. Not all of it. Obviously, you want to hedge your bets a little bit because gold and silver will probably drop in value as well before it increases. But we don't know how long that is. We don't. How long's a piece of string? Some really good advice I got from the Vault the other day. Was it's gold and silver is really good to store your value, to hold your capital, but not necessarily to grow it quickly. So it depends what you're looking to do. But again, not financial advice, just what I've done. And it worked really well for us. We've had a great return on our women precious metals already.
If you think about the bigger picture and whatever happens in the financial world or the digital space, and being responsible at trying to diversify moving forwards. So think about the necessities for human life.
The human lice, we're taking them out, mate. They're the ones that are in power.
Yeah. So it's like everybody's got to eat. Everybody's got to drink. So it's like but it might be that you diversify into bags of rice or whatever. That's a store of wealth.
Absolutely, it is, and it's funny you say that because a good mutual friend of ours who's savvy. I would say he's a savvy investor. That's exactly what he's doing right now. He's bioversifying. He's going and he's getting seeds. He's getting rice. He's getting all of those things that he'll be able to trade and barter because he can foresee what's coming.
Yep.
I know where I'm going when shit hits the fan. I'm going to his house.
And it's like if you are good friends with those types of people that are well positioned for that potential, which is a pretty good potential. But if you're going to be able to trade with him and you haven't got anything to trade, one little $1 silver coin would be amazed at just how much that will feed your family in that sort of situation.
Yeah, 100%. And look, it might not get that dire, but it might. So you need to be prepared for the situation. Nanny Prep saying no keys, no coins. Absolutely. So what she's saying there for those for the uninitiated, if you don't have your seed phrase, if you didn't create and hold your seed phrase for your wallet, they're not your coins. It's that same old man. You're a unsecured creditor.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow. That was an explosive start to our podcast.
I know, and we're almost finished because this is probably a short show today because of how freaking busy we are.
Well, but
we're busy for a good reason.
Yeah.
I haven't been this excited in 6 years, mate.
Well, yeah. Yes, you have.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You know what I mean.
I guess if any of you, and I'm sure most of you are following Andrew and I on our social media platforms, and you'll see there's an uptake in the wording of what we're putting out there, and there's a reason for that, and it's just so exciting at this very point in time with everything that's going on around the world where everything seems to be collapsing. I'm more excited. It's like for a reason.
Hey, what's the reason you're excited? No, and like to allude a little bit further onto that and on what Neil's saying is that obviously there's a lot of shit that's been swept under the rug, and that's hence the name for the show. And guys, this may change moving forward. The name of the show may change. Our focus may change slightly. But it may stay exactly the same because there's still a lot of stuff to uncover and talk about that's been hidden from us and soon we'll be able to talk about all of it freely. So maybe it won't change. But anyway, what we're getting at the moment, we're going through that big transitory phase where there is an imminent collapse. Whether we like that or not is irrelevant. Whether we understand that or not is irrelevant. Whether we believe that or not is irrelevant. It's still true. So the best we can do is prepare ourselves for it. Now, ask ourselves the question, why have we got to that point where we are at this imminent collapse? Well, it's because of corruption that's so far ingrained into our society, into our structure, into the establishment, that it's finally rotted. Yeah, it's finally rotted to the point where it can't support itself. That's literally what has happened here. It's like a tree stump that's been eaten out at the bottom. It's gone, right? The termites have been in, it's about to fall over. That's what's happening here. So it's been so ingrained, so corrupt, that the system we believed was there to support us is not. And it hasn't been. It's never been there to support us. It's always been there to support the 1%. Well, that's about to change. And what we found, what we're talking about, and we're not going to go into any huge detail here. If you want to know about it, reach out to either myself or Neil, and that's fine. We're happy to take you through it. But what it is a disruption to that. Oh. So we've found a place that they know what the system is. They know how corrupt the system is. They've played within the system's boundaries and created something for everyday people. And that is something that's pretty cool. You know, I searched for a long time. I've found some little nuggets. I've found some gems, and I've found some shitholes. But I think this what we've found here is an absolute unicorn.
Yeah, I think if I could put my personal perspective on it and to sort of expand on the post that I put up about 30 years of searching, 30 years of as a parent, wanting to be able to create a lifestyle of freedom, for myself and my family. And, so like there's been so many exciting opportunities along the way that have become duds, and so yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, so much expectation and so much of my family looking at me, rolling their eyes, going, "What the hell are you doing, Dad? You're just, But like from all of that though, and although we call them failures, they weren't failures. They were actually lessons.
Absolutely.
They were lessons.
I love the way Eric Worre says it. He says, "I never fail. What did he say? I either win or I learn."
Yeah.
Great philosophy.
And so all of that time, and probably more so over the last probably 4 or 5 years, that the like time speeding up, friggin' life speeding up, everything's speeding up. So the opportunities have come thick and fast, over those last 5 years, and even more so over the last couple of years. And it helps you kind of understand or learn, why those other projects failed and not met people's expectations. All sure, great, in the beginning, but at the end, there's why has it failed? What is the underlying reason for its failure? And when you get to the core of that, then it helps you understand when the right project comes along, that it's not any of these before. Yep. It's nothing like that at all. But we know now what to look for in a project that's going to help everybody. The one that we've all been looking for all our lives, yep. And recognizing it when it smacks you in the face, and like, oh my fucking God, did it smack me in the face? And
didn't it? I remember I was there when it happened.
And it's like, we've been aware of this for a few months now, but we missed it at that time.
Yeah, look at that, and guys. So and that's true. We have. I've been watching from a distance for probably 2 years, and I registered last year, and I reckon not doing anything, just sitting back and watching. Although good for my peace of mind, great for my peace of mind, and I don't think I would have done it any other way. I don't think I would have had the confidence to go out and do what we're doing now any other way. As I sat back and watched for 6 months, but I reckon that cost me anywhere between $100,000 to $200,000. The beauty of it is you don't even need to tell anybody about it to have it work for you, and then that's like the holy grail. I know that sounds like, oh, that's too good to be true, Drew. Well, yep. And you know what? There's a saying, right? Do you know why broke people are broke? Because they think everything that somebody shows them is a scam.
Yeah. Well, the beauty of this is that you can do this under the rug.
Oh, yeah. Well and truly under the rug. Well and truly under the rug. Shit, I just remembered somebody else I need to call.
Oh, dear. Yeah. So today's show's really going to be sort of quite short. I thought we were going to have someone special on here today, but clearly I misread that.
Well, I did ask you who you were talking about, but you never replied. So,
oh, I thought you were asking me.
Who? Who? I was the owl. Who?
Oh, oh.
See, guys, communication's important.
Hugely, and the written word is even worse. It's even harder to comprehend.
So what I want everybody to consider right now is that Charlie Ward says it's going to happen on a Thursday. He doesn't know what Thursday that is, but it's going to happen on a Thursday. So I want you to consider that tomorrow here in this part of the world is Thursday in the rest of the world.
Now, we're Thursday here today.
Yes, and tomorrow will be Friday.
Yeah.
So they'll be Thursday.
Yeah. So
because now it's Wednesday, not Wednesday night in the States and Canada. It's the middle of the night in the UK.
And we are coming to you from the future, and there's a bit of stuff in some of the comms that we're going back to the future. So maybe we could be the precursor. Fingers crossed. Who knows? We never know. We can, and we'll back that up by saying, well, we just don't really know. We just only know what Charlie's saying. It's going to happen on a Thursday, but just we don't know which one.
And it still could still be months ago. I don't think it is, but it could still be months away as well. We're starting to see some of the leadership systematically dismantled and taken away. We've seen that in New Zealand. We've seen that in multiple different governments that have failed. The media kept the protests in France incredibly quiet, yet there were millions and millions and millions and millions of people protesting there. What else? Oh, the mainstream. Let me get that right. Sorry. I'll retract that. The lamestream media has started reporting the truth about the vaccine shots and the injuries that are coming up with that. So, yeah. I think Neil has a chirping bird. Who's ringing you, man? Put your shit on Do Not Disturb. Mind you, I can't talk.
I shut that down. Yeah, that's a call coming in from India. So, we're certainly worldwide here.
Right. So, on that note, you should probably go and take that call.
But did you talk about the debt ceiling? About the
good point.
Getting ready to fault because I think they're in disagreement at their highest levels between the two departments as to whether they raise it or whether they fall over. So it's like,
of course, and it's the Republicans that are saying no, we're not going to raise it. So Shifty Schiff is saying, because of course, they're claiming that the MAGA Republicans are a terrorist organization, which realistically, no, that's the DOJ and the FBI. But the Republicans are saying, well, we're not going to back your bill to raise the debt ceiling. And realistically, if we think about that logically, they can't. They can't raise the debt ceiling. What would they do if they raise the debt ceiling? I mean, they have to print more money. Well, the Fed can't print any more money. One, the Fed's not belonged privately anymore. It's been acquired by the Republic of the United States of America, and the Treasury controls it. They're not going to print more money because, inflation's already out of control. Now's the time that we need to be taking that hit.
They're on a road to destruction, and they have no choice. Whatever button or whatever pathway that they choose, there's no getting out of it.
No, that's right. And it doesn't matter if they do raise the debt ceiling. All it does is delaying the inevitable. That's it.
But if they do that, it just raises the cost of living and everything with it. It just everything goes to the shit. Whatever they do is going to go to the shit.
And if we bring that back to what we started with the bank's imminent collapse, what happened to Westpac yesterday? One of the big four is not giving money out. Ask the question, why are they not giving money out? The reason I'll surmise that they're not giving money out is because they don't have any to give out. Now, we've said this on the show before. If we go back to, I think it was January or February, the RBA, the Reserve Bank of Australia, they put out a press release, an article that was in the paper saying, oh, yeah, we've got no money. That wasn't a fucking joke. They weren't just flippantly saying, oh, yeah, we've got no money. They're insolvent. And they have been for some time. They have no control over what's about to happen. It's been deliberately set up this way to implode. And I just hurry up and get the party started. That's my thoughts. As hard as it's going to be, because it will be, there'll be some hardship. I mean, just get the party started, get it over with, pull the fucking Band-Aid off.
If you think about it and go back 5 years ago, you could move $10,000 anywhere.
Easy.
If you kind of went over that, then you get a red flag, And over that time period, that they've moved the value of that red flag down and down. And clearly, that red flag is down to $100. And so it's like, if that's not an indication of the decline, I think it's got to go that way, of the decline and what's going on. It's like, if you look at that time frame, we're almost at ground zero. I think we're almost at ground zero. And watching what it does at this point, that could be the domino, the first domino to fall when all currencies and governments and banking systems collapse.
Yeah, so what did you share with me yesterday about the Vietnamese dong increasing in value, gaining strength, against the US dollar? You shared something with me about that.
Well, and the thing with that was, well, is it increased? Has it increased against is their value increased, or is the US dollar's value decreased?
Well, we know that there's been over 100 countries that have said they're not using the US dollar anymore. That's not good for the US economy. The US has been I guess they've been like that unicorn for the last 60 odd years because of the deal that Kissinger made with the petrodollar, right? So they've all been very prosperous. That's why everything's been so cheap there, because the whole world has been using their currency. That's not the case anymore. It's not the case anymore.
No, they're you've got the other token country that is working so hard right now to revalue, which is the Iraqi dinar.
Yep.
And they're actually looking to de-dollarize away from the US and align themselves with BRICS, with BRICS. So it's like there's a massive meeting in Russia, BRICS meeting in Russia. I think it's next month, about 46 different financial countries' financial leaders. So it's like, I'll tell you one thing, because we got to finish. But I saw something just before, and I think it was on CoinMarketCap.
Yes.
And XRP glitched for a split second, 13,000 in value. It glitched.
Giddy
just like
up.
that.
I'm not selling unless it's over 35.
I know it was a glitch. It was a glitch.
Oh yeah, it was a glitch. It's blockchain.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we really need to be getting on with our day, Andrew. We've got things we need to be doing and moving and stuff.
Let me answer this question though. No, you haven't. If you get to the exchange now, and again, not financial advice. This is what I'd do if I had a spare $500 sitting around. I did do it once. Go to an exchange and buy Vietnamese dong if you can. Maybe even Iraqi dinar if you can.
I think you might find it pretty hard right now, but
you can try. Yeah. I know. When everyone was expecting it to go 18 months, 2 years ago, Crown Exchange here on the Gold Coast kept selling out of dong.
But yeah, I guess at the end of the day, it's all about being diversified in what's going to stand the test of time, and right down to food and grain and those sorts of things. So I'm pretty comfortable everybody in here is pretty smart thinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've been awake to it.
Most currency exchanges have them. Andrew, just ring round to your local currency exchanges. Crown, if you're anywhere near the Gold Coast, or actually, I don't know if there's Crown anywhere near you. They definitely have the Vietnamese one. I don't know about the Iraqi one. You can buy the Zimbabwe ones on eBay, but I wouldn't trust those. Nah. All right, so we are cutting this show short because we have been rushed off our feet. In fact, I got back from the gym this morning at 6 o'clock and I haven't stopped. I went and had some breakfast. There was nothing here to eat, so I had to leave to give some breakfast, but I haven't stopped since. And you saw when I was late to the call as it was. So it's been great to be here with you, Neil. It's been great to be here with everybody else. We'll be back same time next week.
Yeah.
And then we may have a break. I can't explain that until after the break if we have one. So we will keep you posted on that though. Love you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in with us always.
Thanks, guys. We're here for you, and we love spending time with you guys as much as I love spending time with Andrew. But we like coming on here and having a great little chat, and including you and all of that. So thanks for coming along. Don't forget, share this channel with all your mates. We're really excited about the feedback or the following that we're getting on the Rumble channels. It's pretty humbling, and I guess if that's kind of the free space where we can get the goodness out to all the right people, then the golden age is going to come upon us when we're in a position to do it much faster than those that aren't awake to it. So
absolutely, 100%. And if you want to know more about what Neil and I are so excited about, then reach out to either of us, whoever you feel comfortable in contacting, and let's get this party started. I'm keen to get our community back together and have the good times that we used to have, and that's exactly where we're heading. Yeah. Let's go.
Massive
Let's go.
Community. Yeah. All right.
What I used to say, giddy up.
We're just getting started.
You're damn right. All right, team. Love you all. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Ka kite anō.